2,797 results. What the fuck?
That is an incredible way for us to start the show here.
Indeed.
Hey, give me 2 seconds so I can just get back in frame, and people can hear me. If they can hear me, they can hear you.
Yes, indeed. Everybody, go ahead and take a seat. I'm glad we're finally getting things started. All right. Just give us a second, folks.
Want me to sit down?
Yeah, I just want you to see. Yeah,
I'm on the clock.
Of course, absolutely. And
But why
folks,
on the clock?
ladies and gentlemen, all nerds all around, because we are not limited by two genders. We are nerds of every gender. This is the March 6th edition of our live stream show, The Ravens Flock.
Hello, everyone.
The first weekend of March, and already people are going bonkers.
Holy Toledo! Welcome everybody.
Thermals, baby. Here we go.
To our weekly live stream of our cosplay conventions and geek culture program we've been bringing to you since 2013. We are the Ravens Flock.
Yes,
you are the Ravens Flock. This guy is the Ravens Flock. And that bald dude over there is also the Ravens Flock.
He's not bald. He's got like a 5 o'clock shadow on his head.
Okay, fine.
Exactly.
No, you're right. Why don't you go ahead and introduce us properly?
My head is my face.
All right, folks. I'm Jose Casabona, your host and also host of the Wednesday Night War. Joining me on my right is the host of the Black Files, the man that puts in the man hours to bring you crisp, clean, 100% quality in all of our visual production, Mr. Juan Arouse.
Howdy, folks. I am here to piss the world off with the fact that I don't really have any reason to piss anyone off. I just want to. But I think my buddy over here with us live via internet Zoom meeting is much more handy at that work than I am.
Yes, indeed, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us via Zoom meeting is the host of Los Amigos Play, Angel Mendez.
Good day, everyone. The Lord has deemed it proper that I live for another day, and we're about to make it everyone's problem. How y'all doing?
Yep.
There's certainly a lot to cover here, folks. We're winding down on the last days of winter, heading into spring season, so I'm happy for that. And, of course, every week there's always news circulating around. Something I do want to start off with here, because what's really what people take negatively?
What?
The idea of the spirit of competition. Whether it's with other YouTube channels or whether it's with whether they're competing in basketball games or baseball games, like competition takes so many forms. Even people at bars who are watching sports games are freaking compete against each other for who's the better hardcore fan.
And
If
really,
you think the nerds are bad about something, you have never seen what fantasy football teams can do.
I was about to say, fantasy football is basically D&D for jocks.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Before we get too much further into this, we want to welcome everyone who tunes in tonight, everyone who comes in live. We will be discussing different topics in the world of geek culture and in the world of pop culture and entertainment for the next hour and a half. We invite you to please comment, talk to us.
I got this part. Just so you know, we're not competing with each other. There will be no competition.
I'm to try to take over the freaking talking over here, but you're cutting me off.
Well, I'm the main guy.
Yeah, you're the main guy. The main guy of being a jobber over here. Look at you with this scraggly ass beard.
There is no competition. This was never a democracy.
All right, folks. We are of course simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. If you're watching from YouTube, hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay on top of all of our weekly content. We produce new content every single week. And of course, as my associate here, Juan, put it, if you have any questions or comments during the stream, go ahead and drop them down on YouTube or Twitch, and we will answer them during the duration that we are live.
All right. That being said, why don't you go on with your random ass dorky speech about competition?
So yeah, competition
that I would totally do better than you.
So yeah, competition at times can be a little toxic, but on the other side of the coin, it can actually be a benefit because competition actually forces two sides to get good. To take a bit of a phrase from Angel here.
Are you telling them to acquire proficiency?
Acquire proficiency, step up their game, basically do their best to win one over the other. And it doesn't always have to be aggressive. It could be friendly competition. I mean, we've seen it in recent history. more specifically, I'll give you the best
Enough of the
example.
preamble. Come on.
All
man.
right. Well, to give
Doing this so much better than you could.
stop. Anyways,
Of
course I'm getting it to the Wednesday.
Are we not talking about competition here? Are we not competing for trying to get the point across?
Well, I mean, there is no competition. I win by default
How do you win by default?
because I'm the
When
main
you gave
host.
him the authority
don't.
to be the leader of the team, you kind of fucked up
All
there.
right,
We
folks.
can't get him out.
If you've been watching the Wednesday Night War every Thursday night
At 10
both
p.m. Eastern here.
at 10 p.m. Eastern, WWE, NXT, and AEW Dynamite have been competing back to back in the Wednesday night ratings, trying to see who puts on the best show to rack up the total viewership and to rack up the 18 to 49 demographics. Safe to say, since the October of 2019 until present day, AEW
hang on a
has been
second.
beating the shit out of
gotta go, bro?
NXT. Oh, hang on.
Sorry about that, folks. There was a small distraction. My little brother stepped by. Can't say matters, private, but he was having a great time. All right, dude, you take care and drive safe out there, all right? You as well. And happy birthday, by the way.
Wait, it's not Michael's birthday, is it?
No, it was the birthday of his girlfriend, and they got together today to celebrate with the family.
Okay.
cool.
I was about to
Happy
say,
birthday to
yeah,
her.
happy birthday
Let's get
to.
back on.
We had delicious cake. Sorry to interrupt. Please
That's fine.
go ahead with
Let's
what you're
continue.
saying.
That's a
So,
good interruption.
as I was trying to say, AEW Dynamite has been trouncing the hell out of WWE NXT in the Wednesday night ratings. However, that might not last very long.
Might not.
decision.
You see, it took you forever to get to this point. The point of the matter is all this, folks. For anyone who actually wants to pay attention,
Hey, I'm
here's
trying. That's how I segue. I try to.
you segue for 15 minutes and you don't make a point on this shit.
It's
5
called
minutes.
building up tension, bro. If we just jump to the action in the movie, people will have no context to the scene. Sometimes you gotta etch them a little before you jerk them off,
Thank you.
metaphorically speaking.
See, he gets it.
Here's what's up. When it comes to
Come
a
on,
topic like
Mr.
this,
Movie Director,
don't
you should
wanna
know about this
stall.
shit.
You don't want to seem like you're just meandering, like you don't know what you're talking about. What's the matter is this: there's been a recent report that due to Major League Hockey, of all things, the NHL, taking over on Wednesday nights on the USA Network, it appears that WWE's third brand, NXT, is going to be moving to Tuesday nights, effectively ending a near 2-year-long competition for the ratings between NXT and AEW.
Now, mind you, this is the WWE we're talking about, and I hate using this phrase but they say it a lot. Anything can happen in the WWE, and at the same time, nothing lasts forever. So this may not be a permanent move. We don't know. I have been researching on multiple sources, and basically all the information that I've been getting is basically the same thing. Yes, WWE is moving NXT to Tuesday nights right after WrestleMania 37th on April 13th. So I've gathered I got some details, and as I mentioned, it all points to the source from Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer Live. The move is not official yet, but basically from what he said, it's a done deal. Now, this has been further embellished on by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Let me pull up some information right over here. Bear with me, folks.
So
I got this.
He's
All
so
right.
terrible
By the way,
at his job.
the reason-
Oh,
I
stop
would do
it.
it so much
This
better.
particular-
Oh, yeah, because, insulting your competition is definitely going to make you better.
Well, it's working.
Well, yeah,
isn't
they
it?
do it all the time in the industry. It's called coding a promo. Right?
All right, so
Wait a second. Does that mean Juan is turning heel on the show after being face for all these years?
You seem to be working under the assumption that I was ever a face to begin with. I was never on y'all's side. I was only ever on my side. I was only in it for me. You guys came to me.
All right,
Yo!
come on.
It was me,
Get
Joe.
off your
It
soapbox,
was me all
Juan.
along.
Jesus. All right.
You do realize this is called a work, right?
It's called a work. Yeah, and
I'm
I
working
refuse
you.
to be worked by you.
I've been working you, and I won. That's how you know that this competition works, because I'm better at this than he is.
All right. So, quote from Dave Meltzer.
Jesus
Basically, he
Christ.
said this. There's always a chance that something can happen for it to not move to Tuesday, but this all has to do with the NHL, the National Hockey League. And when NBC Sports Network was dropped, the NHL's Wednesday night, and that's going to be on the USA Network.
I'm going to do something real quick over here on
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
computer.
And most likely, they were going to have to move, and that's what happened. As far as what WWE does on Wednesday nights, I'm sure they'll do something because that's what they do. They'll always try something. So before I go
On
any
one
further,
hand-
Angel, your thoughts?
Well, on one hand, moving away from that location means that you don't have to worry about competing with the other side, and that means that your audience can more easily be prepared for you. Now, on the other hand, have the numbers of the show, WWE, have they gone down, up, or remained steady recently? Because this kind of change is not done unless they either decided that the numbers were too low for their liking, or the competition is bringing out something that they don't feel they can fight against.
Well, according to the statistics from the March 3rd edition of Dynamite and NXT, AEW Dynamite nearly hit 1 million viewers, whereas NXT almost scratched 700,000. That should give you an idea.
So
And
it is a combination
Dynamite
of factors.
had Shaquille O'Neal, NBA basketball legend, in one of their matches.
True, the man may be retired by now, but you cannot understate his meme potential.
Oh no, the meme was hard over here, Joseph. I wish I could pull up the freaking thing, but I think I took it down. There was this freaking photo, this promotional photo of the match that Shaquille O'Neal is supposed to be in. It was an intergender tag team match. A guy and girl team against another guy and girl team. So Shaquille O'Neal was teaming up with
Jade
Cargill, and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes was teaming up with
Red Velvet, a graduate from the Nightmare family.
With Red Velvet.
Huh.
Now,
Interesting.
it's really weird because you had Red Velvet and Cody Rhodes in the foreground, in the lower half of the poster, and they were in a full body. You see Jade Cargill on the upper left-hand corner flexing or whatever, and on the upper right-hand corner, the entire background on there is just Shaquille O'Neal's big smiling face.
That is
You can
roughly
tell-
1/3 of the size of the original Shaquille O'Neal.
You could tell that Shaquille O'Neal was being very serious and very aggressive by the big-ass goofy grin he put up on his freaking promo photo. Can you pull that up?
Yeah, I'll pull it
just
up,
so we
but
can
like-
show
You know what?
people
Yeah,
here.
show me. I want to see
Wait a minute.
Shaquille
Let me-
O'Neal's
let me see if I
gigantic
can
ass
find
face.
it.
Titanic
You
stature.
sent it to me.
I know. I
Just use
sent
the
it to-
messaging.
Well, why don't you use it?
Because you guys,
All right.
I'm using this so I could be better than you in talking about this stuff.
Oh my
it's a competition,
God,
Jose.
hang on. Oh my God! You
Christ.
see what's happening? I talk about competition, and now me and Juan are getting at each other's throats.
Well,
I'm getting
Joe,
at your
you
throat
see,
and I'm winning.
you know how your brother gifted you that beautiful wrestling belt? That was actually a ruse. He's planning to fight you for it when you least expect it, and then he'll claim the title for himself, and he'll be like, "I giveth and I taketh away," and then he'll make himself the missionary or some
All right,
shit.
folks. I don't know if you're going to see this clearly, but this is the promotional
Hang on.
photo. This
Hang
is the-
on.
Oh, hang on.
Holy shit!
Look
purple.
at his.
Hold on. Turn the
Raise it up a
brightness
little
down.
bit.
Okay. I was trying to make it bright because I was worried if it wasn't bright.
No, it's
sorry.
too bright.
Lift it up a little bit, please.
Well, hold on. We're showing the people here. Hang on.
I am the people.
All right.
I am
And now
all of the people.
We're gonna unplug, and I'm gonna show it to Angel here. Can you see that?
That is some Infinity War. Is that Thanos?
It's Red Thanos. You know how we got a Red Hulk? That's
You
Shaquille
don't
O'Neal is
understand.
playing
the
Red
li-
Thanos.
The lighting makes it look purple from here. It's amazing.
Even Cody's got that look like, oh shit, let's get this over with.
Like,
No,
shit.
you
Here we
will
go
nest
again.
beneath my enormous chin, and you will like it, little man.
Now, on the subject of NXT moving to Tuesday nights, in a separate interview, AEW CEO Tony Khan commented on this, basically saying,
Of course he did.
I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but it would be great to be unopposed, and I'd love to have an unopposed audience. When we've done some really good numbers, and I think that would be awesome.
Interesting.
Of course he'd say that because
What
the
is
guy
happening to this man?
thinks that he could do no wrong. Like, okay, here's what's up. The number one asset that Tony Khan has as the owner
Money.
of All Elite Wrestling is the fact that he has access to his rich daddy's bank account. So he can
Oh, so I was right. It is money.
Yeah, so he could pay for Shaquille O'Neal. So he could pay for these bigger guys who jump the ratings up, and they only deal with it on a week-by-week basis. They don't try to deal with things in the long term. That's the one thing that I notice about this. Another thing with this is that folks are trying to declare that, AEW has the superior product. That's why they're doing this. No, they're not doing this because of that. They're doing this because of goddamn hockey of all things. Hockey!
Goddamn hockey.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that was
Comment.
the earlier speculation for the reason that they were going to move is that they're tired of getting trounced by AEW. But no, it's because of the hockey schedule. Now, Khan went on further to address this. If you look at the ratings year over year, the only wrestling company that didn't plummet in the ratings in February year over year was AEW. So yeah, I do think the balance of power has shifted to the fans and AEW.
He throws that fucking thing into the fans. Oh, you guys are the ones who went motherfucker.
Hang on, let me continue. We keep signing more great wrestlers, and in the next week you'll see more wrestlers debuting in AEW. Now, Cody, on the other hand, has a bit of a more specific opinion on this matter, and you can't run down Cody Rhodes, okay, Juan?
I could try, and I'm better at it than you could hope to be.
All right, here we go.
You will fail slightly less hard than we would.
He had this to say: "I can say that, but I don't want to be sassy or no. Here we go. If we're no longer going to be opposed on Wednesday nights, I'm sure we'll come up with some sort of wonderful statement. Congratulations to NXT on a successful move to Tuesday nights. The real winners are the fans who can watch NXT and Dynamite live every week, as this is a marathon and not a one-night sprint. If I can say that, but I don't want to be sassy or a jerk because with them moving, perhaps something else will be on Wednesdays. Not only that, AEW Dark, their YouTube show, is on Tuesdays. So AEW Dark will potentially be opposed. So that's why we can't be in a matter of getting reactionary. We just have to put out the best show. We really do. And if they want to beat us, they'll have to put out a better show. It's honest competition."
He says this shit while his competition runs.
Competition, I believe in. Honest competition, not so much.
Oh yeah, sure. They're saying, oh, we're just here for honest competition, while their competition is forced to make a freaking move because of shit out of their own control. They're trying to be like, oh, we're the nice guys in competing. Oh, we're so cool and so not gonna rub it in people's face. But it's nice that this is happening.
Well,
now,
to be fair though, that's just business. To be fair, though, that's just business. If something bad happens to your competition, it's only a rational course of action to grab whatever advantage you can get. After all, that means that A, you get a benefit, and B, they're getting screwed and you don't have to do anything to look shady or dirty in the process. Each living capitalismus and all that, you just
say this, but I don't think
slide it in.
But Juancho, the WWE is not innocent on this part by any means.
Oh no, but
Okay. Okay, what do you mean by that?
They've been reactionary during the Wednesday Night Wars too. I'll give you an example. When AEW announced that they were doing Fyter Fests for both televised nights, it didn't take the WWE long to announce that they were going to do a 2-night event to run simultaneously for the NXT's The Great American Bash. So they've been reactionary about it too. The only difference is the AEW side, they're trying to be more.
They're being cocky, is what it is. They're trying to come off like the nice guys, like, oh no, we're just here in spirited, friendly competition. Here's the facts about this, folks, ladies and gentlemen, and something that I know Jose doesn't have the nerve to tell you people, because he knows that I'm a much better communicator than he is.
Dude, you are not.
This is a competition, and I'm winning. So here's what's going down. The entire reason the Wednesday Night War started is the WWE's fault. Here's what's up. When AEW came out, when they were going to say they were going to be on TNT network, they were going to be debuting their show Dynamite. They were getting copyrights for Tuesday Night Dynamite. They did not want to try to go head to head with anyone, but TNT wanted to compete with the WWE's NXT programming on the WWE app. They weren't even on a TV network. They were just trying to get on with their own lives. But TNT was the one who wanted to put this on, so they put AEW on Wednesday nights. In response, the WWE went in and said, okay, well, we're going to be on the USA Network Wednesday nights. This was initiated not really by AEW, not even really by the WWE. They only responded to something else that they had to go in for. This was TNT's fault. And the reason why they're getting all this shit, the reason why we're getting Shaquille O'Neal and all this basketball stuff going on out here now, like I said, something that Jose doesn't have the nerve to try to tell you people is because they are trying to push their NBA connections, because TNT has a tight-knit connection with the NBA, and they'll put it out there. Whereas the WWE does not have that kind of tight-knit connection with the USA Network. But NHL does.
Okay.
Which is why NHL, the fucking hockey of all things, the fucking Mighty Ducks of California, of Anaheim, are usurping
Mighty
the place
Ducks.
of the WWE on Wednesday nights.
Okay.
And the fact of the matter is, the reason why they're able to do that is because the NHL has been around much longer, and they're able to command a much higher rate for their advertising. At the end of the day, this is all about money. This is all about who can bring the networks the most money.
So
That's why they
Money,
that's why
what
money,
Angel just
money,
said,
money,
HBO
money.
Capital, whatever the fuck.
And I
Exactly,
could say it
that-
a lot
so at
better
the end,
even
that
than
was
what
right.
Angel could say over here on his side.
Oh, so now you're competing against me and Angel.
And I'm winning.
Well, that's not really a fair competition. I don't know about wrestling nearly as much as you guys do.
Okay.
but
Time
if I
for me to-
did, I would be winning. So fuck
Time
you.
for me to take over, Juancho. So what you're saying is
Try.
what you're saying is the main perpetrator out of all this is TNT, Turner Media,
Oh yeah.
the Turner Network executives.
The moment that they found that AEW was looking for a TV platform, they knew they could get their hands in on this, and they knew that with Tony Khan and his dad's gigantic fucking wallet, they'll spot out whatever amount of money they can. They'll bend over backwards to accommodate TNT because they think that that's what good business is. But really, they're getting played like a damn fiddle.
Okay, but you know what?
And I'm winning.
You know what, Juancho? Guess what? It really doesn't matter in the end. Do you know why?
Why?
Because there is one thing that I will agree on that was quoted by Tony Khan, by Cody, even by WWE. The real winners at the end of the day are the fans. And I'll explain why. Because
Because we get more content.
every Wednesday, nearly 1.7 million viewers in the United States are tuning in to watch the best wrestling content, the wrestling content that grasps their eyes. It doesn't matter if it's AEW Dynamite. It doesn't matter if it's WWE NXT. Together, collectively, they are drawing in that large of a number of viewers every single week. And there had been examples of both shows prevailing on separate time slots in the past. NXT would air on Tuesday nights due to scheduling conflicts, and they were able to pull in larger numbers than they would in head-to-head competition on Wednesday nights. And AEW gets the same results.
So essentially, the businesses try to screw each other based on a issue of circumstance to increase their profits, and we, the fans, just happen to benefit for this one by sheer happenstance.
Exactly,
We got the better
because-
deal out of it, even as the businesses try to kill each other.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, the fans really don't care what the hell the business is doing. They just want to watch wrestling. They just want to watch their favorite stars wrestle every single week.
Now here's
Be right back. Give me a second.
All right, you go ahead. I'll switch over to
Yeah, I was going to
Do a
say,
different camera
there's no way that I
Hang
can
on.
be wrong on this.
hang on. There we go.
All right.
There's no way you can be wrong on this, you say. Well, there's one thing that you didn't account for, Jose.
And what's
Something that you haven't accounted for in all this, which is why I'm winning this competition here. The fact that one of our programs here, your baby, the Wednesday Night War, is now at the risk of dying in the cradle. And you can thank the USA Network and the WWE for that.
Oh, no!
Oh, yeah!
Oh, no!
Oh, yeah!
What am I ever going to do? I'm
Oh
probably gonna
no,
have to
we are
ca-
getting more content while the businesses screw each other over.
Oh, no.
Boo-hoo.
Hang on a
Hang
minute.
on.
Let's bring Angel back in so he could
There
see
we
me, so he can hear my tales of woes. Angel, this means no more Wednesday
I
Night
actually
War.
heard
That
it.
means I have to cancel my show.
Nonsense. You just move it over to Thursday Night War. Wait, no, something better. Move it one day ahead and call it fucking Tuesdays.
Ha! That's an inside joke, by the way.
Fucking Tuesdays.
That's sick, but no. You're. I appreciate the effort, but no. And Juancho, you're equally wrong.
How am I equally wrong?
Because-
I was the one who brought this up. I'm the one who's making this point. That's how I'm winning in this competition.
But do you know why you're wrong?
How am I wrong? Not why, how. Explain, elaborate, enunciate.
The how and
My
the
show
why
ain't
are the
going
same, my
nowhere.
dude.
That's a double negative. It's gone.
Nope, it's not. And do you know why, folks?
Why?
Because starting right on the same week of April, the same week of post WrestleMania, the week where NXT moves over to Tuesdays.
Remember, this isn't confirmed yet.
This isn't confirmed.
So, assuming all this is correct, and
assuming
NXT
all this is correct, my show will not be taken down. Just like how we the Ravensflock had to adapt to streaming online separately due to COVID. My show will also adapt, and starting that week. Assuming that things do change, the Wednesday Night War will temporarily be reformatted into Wrestle Rewind.
And you can thank me for that name too, because we were discussing this and trying to help you come up with a new name for the show.
Well, yes, of course, it's important to give you a consolation prize after you're losing a competition.
Jesus Christ!
When I was the one who gave you the name 2 days before this competition, I won the competition before it even started. I went to Lamarck because you lost to Lure.
Because you, like you said, you gave me the idea. You gave me the ace in the hole.
No, I gave it to you. It was my invention. That makes it my victory. You lost.
Oh, my God.
Tony, you seem to have forgotten the main theme of business. Do you think that just because you had an idea, that the idea was truly yours?
Your camera's tilted up again.
Your camera's tilted
I know. I'm stealing the point of view.
We only see
reactor.
half of your face.
You don't need to see anything else.
But yes,
because I'm a shady individual.
So yes,
shifty character.
Assuming that the time does change, yes, I will switch it over to Wrestle Rewind, and I will cover the best matches, the best wrestling matches. I'm not going to cover all the matches, but only the best ones from each wrestling programming. I will dedicate. I will commit. I will not limit myself to NXT and Dynamite. I will also pull a best match from the Friday show of New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, or hell, AEW Dark, or NXT Evolve. Yeah, that's also going to be a thing. The point is, I am a passionate wrestling fan. That is why I started the 4th show under our channel, to share my passion for professional wrestling with each and every single one of you.
And the fact that I'm still the sorry bastard has got to take care of all the technical stuff to keep this show from catching fire makes little no nothing over here at all, don't it? What? What? Go ahead and run this without me. You will catch fire. You know that brother from iCarly, how his running gag is everything catches fire with him? That's you and Angel when it comes to tech. That's how I'm winning this competition.
What? We're always one. Every time I introduce you, I always credit you by saying that, hey, you put in the hours, and we always show appreciation. What more do you want? Do you want me to get you?
He wants the world.
I want to win this. I want to win this competition, and I will.
Do you want Angel to mail you a gift basket with a bunch of chocolates? Will that make you happy?
I was going to, but now that he's acting like that, I'm just gonna try a bunch of turds instead.
And I will win.
Oh my God! This guy.
I win, he says as he rubs the feces all over his face. Yes! Yes!
All right. But God. All right, folks. But of course, if nothing changes,
I'm fucking right.
I know.
You do know that. You do know that.
We know. But of course, if nothing changes, folks, the Wednesday Night War will continue to be the same. And honestly, we don't suffer from it because, hey, like I said, the spirit of competition isn't always negative. It can always be a positive because it forces both sides to give it their all, to give it 100%.
Think of it as the evolution theory but being forced upon the world of capitalism. The strong thrive and the weak die off. Those who are unable to adapt to survive in such a world, they'll die off too. It's unfortunate, and that means that oftentimes success is never guaranteed. But that's how the business works. If you want to make the money, you gotta get the audience, and you gotta have a way to maintain it. That's all there is to it.
That being said, folks, next on the next week's edition of the Wednesday Night War, that will be 8, 9, 10, the 11th, the March 11th. I will also be covering not highlights, but the best match from this year's AEW Revolution, which is this Sunday on March 7th. Their main event, Angel, I kid you not, you're going to shit your pants when I say this. It's Jon Moxley versus a fellow otaku wrestler that goes by the name Kenny Omega, who's the current AEW World Champion. He will be defending his championship in an exploding barbed wire death match.
Well, now, Wait, how? What do you mean exploding? How the hell does that
Two
work?
things. I'll explain it for you. Two things. Number one, I still need you to tilt your camera down. We only see your head, and not
Hang on,
even
let me try
the
that.
good side of your head too. I really do need you to do that real quick because they can't see you.
Like this?
A little more. There we go.
How about like this?
That
Better?
works. Loads better. That's number one.
Hang on, let me just.
Number
There we
two.
go.
Number two, I shit you not. What they do is they replace the ring ropes with serrated edge barbed wire.
Nice.
And on the turnbuckles of each one of the ring posts is apparently a pack of exploding C4.
Well, actually,
I'm sorry, what?
All right, I pulled up the actual rules as stated by Kenny Omega. Here we go. And it includes a little doodle. Hang on. He explained it
Holy
this way.
shit.
Send the doodle to Angel.
I'll
when
send
we're
it to
done.
Angel, but here's the rules.
Please do. I want to check that out.
Three sides of the ring ropes are wrapped in barbed wire.
Okay.
Contact with the barbed wire will trigger explosives on corresponding sides of the ring,
Jesus fucking Christ.
which is called the triple hell. 3 zones on the floor outside are wired to explosives, and there is a 30-minute countdown timer until all explosives in and around the ring detonate.
So let me see if I get this straight. Hang the fuck on, because that is the most metal thing I heard today. So you're in the ring with the other big burly dude that wants to beat you until you're nothing but hamburger meat, surrounded by spiky metal wire that may or may not explode if you hit it hard enough. And also the ring is surrounded by explosions. And if you don't kill each other in the pin each other in the next 30 minutes, they're gonna go off and kill both of you.
Yes.
Yes.
I send you the sketch
Man.
I sent you the sketch of the barbed wire death match. Go ahead and take a look at it before we move on, because I want to see your
Let
reaction.
me look at this bullshit.
It's gold. It's
This is-
gold. It's
Let me see this
gold.
This is so stupid. I love it.
You know what? Forget the matches. I think I will end up.
All right.
Stupid thing.
This is the good shit
You
right
know,
here.
when we clip this, I'm gonna clip this part of the freaking match, and I want to clip this part of the segment, and I actually want to show the doodle of this and overlay
that
it
is great.
on
That is
our
genuinely
replay
great.
here.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this is so dumb.
So
I
this
love
is
it.
just this is not wrestling anymore. This is just another episode of Ultimate Muscle, the Kinnikuman legacy.
Pretty much. And of course, folks, you know, this is
Holy
all part
shit.
of of the wrestling world adapting to change once again, and you know, change sometimes is a good thing.
What's all?
One could argue that,
But the
so.
best thing is the fact that I won this competition.
Yeah. You know, whatever. If it'll shut
You know, we're
up
just
and
gonna have to
quit
make our
keeping
own
bannering,
exploding
yes,
ring at
you
this
win.
rate and just settle
Whatever.
that
Juan
shit
wins. Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
the words
yeah.
of Keanu Reeves, you're absolutely right. Have fun.
However, just like competition, sometimes, well, depending on how the viewer sees it, not everybody will agree to change.
No, not a lot of people agree to change. Sometimes change can be for the good. Sometimes change can be for the better. Change itself is not a bad thing. It is a force of nature. Everything has to change. Now, whether or not these changes are made because they're coming from a right-minded place or not is up for debate. Case in point, the quite possibly one of the dumbest debates I've seen since the Final Fantasy VII remake of Tifa Lockhart's character design.
Oh boy, here we go.
Update design to Lola Bunny in the upcoming sequel to the animated live-action crossover film that defined our childhood aside from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Space Jam.
Oh,
By the
Legacy.
way, we're getting a Space Jam sequel with the other guy, the one
with
that
LeBron
wasn't Shaq.
James.
LeBron James.
If you can't have Kobe Bryant, rest his soul, and you can't have Michael Jordan because he's old, then you go with the next big guy, which is LeBron James.
Now, so far we have seen the actual information they put and the little screenshots. The animation looks good, and apparently there's going to be sections in the real world where the Looney Tunes are going to look like a CG. Now I gotta give them credit. The CG looks pretty good. But the reason why everybody's complaining is the main issue of the fact that and I hesitate to say this, the sexy character of the movie, in this case Lola Bunny, is being changed to be less sexually designed, for like less of an hourglass figure, more of a flat figure. The director has gone on record saying that he wants to make her less sexy and more give the image of a strong female character. Now, this has acquired two senses of ire. The first one comes from the Coomers, who are essentially going, bruh, where's my fat material?
Like,
And
bro,
the other
I
one is
can't
coming,
fap to this.
I can't fat to this. Gross. She's all 3D and shit. And the other one comes from the people that are on my side. Because personally, I'm not angry about the fact that she was changed. I'm angry about the reason why she was changed. I don't like the idea that somebody cannot be sexy and strong at the same time. I don't understand that.
Which is hysterical because for anyone who's actually seen or can watch the original Space Jam movie, which the last time I checked it was on Netflix, or did
Please
they
do
pull
if
it
you
down?
haven't. This is fantastic.
They had
film.
it on Netflix, but yes, they pulled it down.
No, I think it's still there.
Nuts.
Ah,
Maybe I can always pull it up again, but go on.
Yeah, we'll double check. If any of you have actually watched Space Jam, the original Space Jam, and seen Lola Bunny, number one, she wasn't quite as curvaceous and boobalicious as many people remember. A lot of
No.
times when in this discussion, the side-by-side comparison that people are pulling up, when they're pulling Lola Bunny's original design as opposed to what she looks like in the new movie, they're
It's
pulling
fan
up
art,
a
bruh.
fan art where she's got her
Merely.
boobage exaggerated. Her legs are curvier and longer than they actually look. You got to remember, she's a 2-foot tall fucking bunny, just the same as Bugs Bunny and the original people. Yet, granted, you got Michael Jordan next to him, who's like 9 feet tall, weighs like
he's a
400
fucking
pounds of
titan.
pure lean muscle, and saved the world from Danny DeVito in an ink costume. But
that was Danny DeVito. I keep forgetting that.
but the problem really is that we have this bad like rose tinted glasses thing that Lola Bunny had like 38 double D's, and like she was like Nelly says in Ride With Me, measurements is 36, 25, 34, but that's not even really it. She wasn't quite as curvy as we all remember her to be. And number two, she was already to go to your side here, Angel, because you're here more about the reasoning rather than
Yes.
people getting fappy on it. Is she was already the next most competent basketball player, and she was already a tough cookie on her own while still being a goddamn Looney Tune cartoon. The one thing that we all remember for her is you don't call her doll. Bugs
Also-
Bunny thought he could call her doll, and she smacked his ass down. She laid him down on the ground.
She certainly did.
Now, here's a fun little detail that I found out. This recent design of Lola Bunny is, ironically enough, very close to her very first design draft of the first movie. Here's something that I found out. Apparently, the first design draft gonna look like this, but she looked too young. So the director was like, make her sexier because I don't want to make it look like Bugs Bunny's falling in love with a teenager. So,
So
so
you mean
they
to
did
tell
this-
me the original design that they had for Lola Bunny is closer to the new design that they're putting out for the
Yes.
new movie now?
And the director was like, no, put some ass and tits in there. We need to make her sexier. So the artist decided to make her sexier and sexier until the final design actually looked like the fan art, but they toned it down from the movie. In the final design, she had like a C cup.
Closer to like a larger B, small C. But then again, this is
Yeah.
talking about a 2-foot tall anthropomorphized make-believe rabbit.
Yeah.
So in a bizarre twist, we are running it back all the way to the beginning, to the point where the previous director said, "No, bro, that doesn't look good. Put some hentai in this bitch."
Now this is really funny and this is really muffed up. Only for me because number one, as a kid who grew up and saw Space Jam at the time, okay, yeah, she was like hottie and all, and she was meant to be Bugs Bunny's girlfriend. But let's not try to mince words here. If you're growing up now and you're using Lola Bunny of all people as fap material, as material to indulge yourself, motherfucker, you got issues. All right,
Bro,
we've
that
got
ain't
Tinder.
gonna stop nobody.
We
That
have
ain't gonna stop nobody. You see, remember Zootopia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that just added more fan art in the archives of DeviantArt.
This will literally stop no one. But it
The-
doesn't make our complaints any less legit, though. The director clearly does not understand the character if they believe that their only way to make them strong is to remove effeminacy from them, and that's retarded.
That's literally like throttling it back, where they almost go around full circle and go back to making your point, to making her look underage and inappropriate for being in a relationship with Bugs Bunny. What's funny here is she stuck around in canon with the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes years after
Yeah,
this.
she was
It
fantastic
wasn't
on
just a
that one.
one shot. When they did the Looney Tunes Muppet Babies or whatever the fuck it was, they were baby rabbits, and she was a baby rabbit with Bugs Bunny, and they were in diapers. Then they had the Looney Tunes show, which they made it like sort of like sitcom comedies, but with the Looney Tunes, and they had her voiced by none other than Kristen Wiig, who did a good job with voicing Lola Bunny and having her like up the goofy level to match with the rest of the Looney Tunes. So she wasn't just there for
It worked
like,
pretty well, to be honest with you.
Yeah. What's funny here is that folks thought that she got flanderized into being the psycho girlfriend, the psycho ex-girlfriend, or whatever. Like just the clingy and weird, like attached to your hip, whether you wanted to or not, character that you get from sitcoms. And folks thought that at that time was denigrating to the character and the legacy of Lola Bunny. What legacy? She'd only been around for a couple of years.
These idiots don't know what they're talking about.
Bro, this is her legacy. To be fair, though, the majority of people really did enjoy the new version of herself because she had a bit more character to her, and she got her own episodes focused on everything.
Which is good.
Honestly, the new Looney Tunes show is fantastic. I highly recommend anybody who enjoyed the old one to watch it. It was really good. But yeah, ultimately, it boils down to the same problem. Even if you brush aside the enormous piles of filthy, sick degenerates that exist upon the internet, of which we are a part of.
Of which we are a part of. Let's not
At
kid
the end
ourselves.
of the day, this feels like an extreme misstep on the idea of a character because it falls into the same old stupid cliche of a woman is not allowed to be sexy while she's strong. Also, what the fuck does it mean to be a strong anymore? Physical strength, she's a Looney Tune. Skill, she's already one of the best players in the team. Attitude, she already had a personality. Like, where do they keep going with this idea of strong? Honestly, this strikes me as a fucking publicity stunt, essentially saying, we're gonna make her strong. You know the definition I'm going for, and that's the part that worries me the most because when people like this make a character strong, or rather, when they make a female character strong, that's their idea for I'm going to turn this character into an asshole.
Oh my goodness!
And I really hope it doesn't go to that point because I enjoy Slam Jam. I keep saying Slam Jam is supposed to be Space Jam.
Space Jam.
And I really want to enjoy the second one. But if this is the reasoning they're going for, my expectations are going low already, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay. We still really ought to keep our expectations low on this. We have to remember that this is a sequel to a film that came out, 26 years ago?
Oh, yes.
It's not a film. It's an hour and a half. 1996.
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half long meme.
Exactly. It was a gigantic meme that was made for two reasons. Number one, to throw a shitload of money at Michael Jordan.
Yep.
And number two, to make a shitload of toys and action figures and merchandise off of the Looney Tunes. Remember, in all of the Space Jam merchandise, we see the Looney Tunes. We see the Monstars, the alien and the Toon aliens who are trying to take over the world.
Bad guys this time. The monsters turn good at the end.
But do we see any of that merch with Michael Jordan's face on it at all?
No.
Answer to that.
Because he retired. He went to play baseball, man.
But he's the co-headliner of the movie. It's starring Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny. Shouldn't he be front and center in all that Space Jam merchandise? He ain't. You know why? Because he took his cut on there basically saying, I'm making money just by being Michael Jordan here, just being myself.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't need to be in merch. You guys go ahead and make merch with the cartoons. I don't need it.
Honestly, maybe he should have done the smart thing that the original actor of Obi-Wan Kenobi did and just go, hey, man, just give me a percentage instead.
Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he had that going on for him.
All right. So
regardless.
Go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think we can all agree, the change of the character itself is not the issue, but the reasoning behind it, as given by the director, that is...
Honestly, I would respect the director more if they just came out ahead and said, I didn't like the original design. That's it. I would have preferred if he had just told me that because at least it would be hidden on the list. This thin veil of moral protection. We want to make her stronger, and that has to mean less sexy now?
Yeah, either he didn't like the original design, or he could have just said, we're just trying something different.
Yeah, we're trying to do something that is more close to the Looney Tunes show instead. something like that.
Or something
Because
like that,
let's
or
be
something
honest-
that's close to present day. I don't know.
Exactly. Because let's be honest, this is not gonna stop the porn. This will never stop the porn.
No, of course
But at
not.
least,
No, of
have
course
some
not, you horny
honesty.
bastard. Angel is a horny bastard. Come
Joseph,
on.
I'm a
I
horny
never
bastard, but
claimed
there are
not to
limits.
be. Listen, I may be a horny son of a bitch, but I am a horny son of a bitch with principles and standards because we are professionals. Damn it!
It's those standards and those principles that divides the filth from the connoisseurs like Angel and I.
Whoa,
Exactly.
excuse me. Are you singling? Are you singling me out?
Was that anything about you? Are
Wait,
you saying that you're filth?
No, of course
Are
not.
you fapping to Lola Bunny? All right, then you got nothing to worry about.
Oh, shut
Just
up.
said I was
Reminds,
singling you.
reminds me of that.
this
reminds
is
me of
why
this
I
Twitter
win these
post that I
competitions.
saw.
Oh my
Reminds me of this-
God.
I know. Okay,
reminds
I'm
me
done.
of this.
Kicking a dead
this-
horse, Juan.
It reminds me of this Twitter post I saw, and I swear this post hit me in the heart because I relate to it on a spiritual level. A girl is talking to her boyfriend on the. Apparently, they were mentioning they were spending their honeymoon on a hotel room, and Space Jam came out on the TV. And she's watching the movie, and she goes, "Oh man, I don't even remember this character." And the boyfriend goes, "Oh, that's Lola Bunny. That's the first time she showed up here." And she goes, "Oh wow, I don't even remember her." And then she says, and he looked at me in a way that I never seen before, and he says, "I do."
Wow.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
like, bruh.
Okay.
This marriage is going to have some issues in the future.
Okay, for any of y'all who are like serious hardcore furry and fap to these animated anthropomorphized animals, number one, as long as you ain't harming any actual animals, then I don't really care what you do. But number two, you can't deny that when it came to characters like Lola Bunny, that was likely your gateway into being a furry.
Yeah.
That like so I ain't gonna judge, I ain't gonna say, but you can't deny that was your gateway for it. Some
even
of us
those of
can
you who did
step
not fall
away
into
from
furry,
the edge of
it's
the
okay.
abyss.
I will not judge you. Juan will do all the judging for me.
I will do all the judging. You see, some of us have the fortitude to step back from the edge of the abyss, while others simply jump into it, kicking, laughing, and screaming on the way down.
That's bullshit. You're just saying that because you're literally married.
No, I'm saying that because I win every competition.
Mm-hmm. Well, you won.
I'm
You
not
won
gonna
married.
stop!
Congratulations.
Juan, the dead horse is
You
already
won.
buried 6
Married.
feet.
I need glue! I'm
You won.
pounding that horse into glue. Got it?
Oh, so he's taking out his. Oh, so he's talking shit about the furries, but he's pounding horse ass. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Glue!
Oh.
Listen,
Oh my
man,
God.
I don't
see
care how
this?
much you want to hot
I
glue the
can't
horse.
make
That's
glue.
still ain't right.
By myself. Okay?
Terrible.
I'm an asshole.
Yes, you are.
Now, truthfully, like the funny thing here is my real concern about all this is why the fuck are people so up in arms about the design of a rabbit, of an anthropomorphized make-believe fucking rabbit? It's the same motherfuckers who got up in arms about like Aunt Jemima being racist, so they changed her to being some generic
Nothing.
milk company.
You don't
And
understand.
people throwing-
They changed her to nothing. There's just that logo there now.
There's just a logo and a building. That's all it fucking is.
Oh my
and
God.
people are throwing like, oh, this is the end of civilization. This is cancel culture. They're ruining it. Motherfucker, we got actual human beings being canceled. We got our $2,000
Syria.
stimulus that ain't been thrown out to us yet being canceled. We got that shit being canceled. And you're pissing and moaning about a rabbit. Shut the fuck up. Shut the
Cancel
coffin.
everything. Just cancel all the things. Hilariously enough, this actually has resulted in a surge of fan art, both tasteful and not so much, about the eponymous character, as many artists that I follow on Twitter just decided, you know what? Fine. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, pretty much. There's nothing that we could say about the fans that are crying or complaining about Lola Bunny and how she's and how she looks.
That just shows how y'all motherfuckers got plenty of free time for that you could be using on something a lot more productive.
I'm
To be
not
fair,
saying
though, even if they didn't have free time, it wouldn't be able to actually help with any other issues. So we do what we can, bro. We take our licks where we can find them.
pretty much.
Ultimately, it still boils down to the fact that it's not the change that bothers most people, is the reason for the change.
The
There's
reasoning is
insidious
the-
bullshit going. These are the kind of people that look at Speedy Gonzalez and then look at a Mexican person and tell them that's supposed to be racist. Because guess what? I found a person that did that and they got fucking destroyed.
Okay, like it's the same fucking thing. Every single one of the characters from Looney Tunes can come off as either racist or stupid or insensitive. Number one, Foghorn Leghorn. He's literally Colonel Sanders embodiment. Like he is down south fucking guy.
He's
He is southern as fuck.
Yes, he is.
People will say that that's a fucking bad stereotype. Pepe Le Pew. People will say that he's a freaking sex offender, which, let's be honest, he is.
Yeah.
But they'll say that that's horrible, offensive to the French. Motherfucker, the French love Pepe Le Pew because he's funny and he doesn't get away with the shit.
Everybody keeps
That's
forgetting
the
that for the
joke.
sake of comedy. Yeah, that is the joke. It's like the Johnny Bravo effect. The point is not that he's a horn dog. The point is that he's a stupid, hopeless romantic that keeps coming on so strong that it only results in rejection, only for things to be turned on him around at the end. And then he's the one being chased and he doesn't want it because that is called comedy. And the fact that I had to explain it literally makes it less funny. Congratulations, you piece of shit. You made the world slightly less funny because of that. I hope you're happy.
You have to explain the joke. There is no joke.
I put a deposit down, Bruce. Where's my goddamn electric car? Genuinely one of the best jokes I heard of that.
The only thing I could say about the people complaining about it is that I am very, very, very disappointed. Now, personally speaking, I don't mind the change. I mean, changes are going to happen whether we like it or not. It's inevitable. When it comes to movie projects, especially, they're not everything is going to be 100% accurate to the original source material.
The fact that we're getting a sequel is already something that we never thought was going to happen. Let's be honest.
Exactly, and changes are expected to happen. And as fans, honestly, I would prefer that we just okay. They changed this. That's fine. That's cool.
Moving on. Let's see how the story goes. Is it fun? Will she be funny? Or is she just going to be an annoying character now? Doubtful because they got the original voice actress who gave Lola Bunny her voice to begin with. She's coming back, which is always very nice. And you want to know what would have been a much better and we could sort of half-ass accept as a reasoning for it? You want to know what it is? And I want to know if you can argue with this one here, Angel. I want to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
How well would it have worked if the director of the Space Jam sequel said, oh, well, Lola Bunny, she really comes off more as that she was an athlete first. She was made to be an awesome athletic character. Let's give her a little bit more of athletic look to her, but also keep her cartoony. Remember, these are cartoons. So she doesn't have to be too curvy, but she'll still look sporty and she'll still be a fun character. That part isn't changing. We just want them to look like, okay, while Bugs and Daffy Duck are off having their hijinks, she's still at the basketball court doing her thing.
That I can agree with because that at least would feel more honest than whatever the hell they're doing here.
It would have made sense, kind of, right? Because
instead of fishing for fucking brownie points.
Pretty much.
Now people are going to say that imitation of the Tasmanian devil is racist to Tasmanians.
Oh my god! If that ever happens, I will throw my shoe at the nearest idiot.
As a bunch of hairy, spinning savages that eat everything, and I'm like, yeah, you ever seen a person from Tasmania? They don't look exactly like that, dumbass.
They're idiots, man. Well, yeah, no, they're a bunch of fucking morons. And I will say this: as far as this is concerned, quite frankly, personally speaking, I don't really care about what the director has to say about the change in Lola Bunny. All right, because his reasoning doesn't make any sense. Because from the original Space Jam, she was already made to be a strong character, and she wasn't overly sexualized, nor was she,
she wasn't overly sexualized. She wasn't overly overbearing and being aggressive or whatever the fuck, or strong as the people are trying to write it today. No,
exactly.
She was there to be an athlete, be a romantic foil to Bugs Bunny, and to help them save the world from Danny DeVito and his aliens.
Exactly. She has She has her spotlight. She's in addition to a much bigger plot to Space Jam, which is the Toons beating the Monstars.
Exactly. Also, once again, if the Monstars are not going to be here, who is going to be the antagonist? Because you can't have a sports movie without the enemy team. So what the hell's going on there?
I've actually got the premise for the Space Jam sequel.
Yes, please do, because we need to get ourselves away from this goddamn stupid thing with these fans complaining about Lola Bunny, man. Jesus.
Give me a second. I'm going to pull it up over here. Where is it? Space Jam. Here we go.
Like, I'm infected by their stupidity.
Too bad. Their stupidity carries a good point, so you gotta bring it with you. It's like a bucket full of gasoline. Something bad might happen, but hey, you might need that gasoline, man.
Here's what's up. The premise is already put up on the main Wikipedia page for this, and it reads, and I quote, when basketball champion and global icon LeBron James and his young son Dom, played by Cedric Joe, who dreams of being a video game developer, are trapped in a virtual space by a rogue algorithm called AIG Rhythm, voiced by Don Cheadle. LeBron must get them home safe by leading Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Lola Bunny, and the whole gang of notoriously undisciplined Looney Tunes to victory over AIG's digitized champions on the court.
So we're getting digitized champions?
Holy shit, are we fighting Digimon now, guys?
What the fuck? I feel like you just read an entire premise to Looney Tunes crossover to Tron.
Kinda.
I think you just read, you know what you just read to me? You just read to me Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, the plot.
Kinda, yeah, I did. I ain't even mad.
Okay, I'm willing to give this a show. Lord knows I haven't heard anything with Looney Tunes since the show ended, so
yeah,
I
dude, I'm still gonna watch this movie because I want to see how the hell they're gonna do this. Digitized champions.
Okay, so are we gonna find like 3D versions of actual basketball players?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know.
Maybe they're gonna be like computer simulated NBA stars.
You know what? This is a bit of a last thing, but since we're concluding the conversation about the Looney Tunes Back in Action Slam Jam 2 Extravaganza Secret of the Ooze, allow me to offer information about something else that's pretty damn good, and I noticed that we actually haven't talked about it in a while. How are you guys feeling about the Mortal Kombat reboot, though?
Oh, yes. Oh. Okay, yes, please. Let's talk about that real quick, because I was gushing when they came out with the trailer for it. I loved the fact that they took the original Mortal Kombat theme and added it to it, they made it like
the one thing I wanted. They brought it back.
Done.
As long as that's there.
Done.
I could not help but to feel the tiny stab of disappointment when I realized that will not be Ed Boon screaming, "Get over here." It will just be his actor. Because Ed Boon, the director of the Mortal Kombat studios, has been the voice of "Get over here" for every single iteration of the franchise. Even when Scorpion has changed voice actors like a dozen times, Ed Boon is still the one saying "Get over here." That being said, though, that moment when he's fighting Sub-Zero and Sub-Zero cuts him, freezes the blood, and tries to stab him with a red eye. Oh, shit, man. That being I'm only worried about one thing, and it's the fact that the main character appears to be yet another case of OC do not steal, but hopefully that won't get too much in the way.
Hopefully.
Honestly, can we just bring fucking Liu Kang is already here. Why are we not making him the main character?
Liu Kang is there they're establishing that he's been fighting. You got to remember, Kung Lao is in the movie too. And isn't Kung Lao supposed to be an ancestor to Liu Kang? How are the two motherfuckers from like separate generations?
No. The Kung Lao is like a title, basically. The hat and the thing is a title. This Kung Lao is Liu Kang's best friend / rival, and they both work in the Shaolin Temple together. There has been many Kung Laos, and this one is basically trying to prove himself. He's got a bit of a... He feels like a kung fu version of Johnny Cage, you know, arrogant braggart with a heart of gold kind of dude. Also, his main fighting style is based on Wing Chun, which looks cool as shit in the original
nice.
game. No. This Kung Lao is basically Liu Kang's bro in arms, which honestly annoys me even more because that means I wanted the Kung Lao and Liu Kang movie, and I get Kung Lao and Liu Kang plus who the fuck this guy is. Who knows? Maybe he'll actually do his part right. We'll see. Right now, oh yeah, and we got to see how Jax got his arms in this continuity.
Oh yeah, he got him frozen by Sub-Zero, and you see the flesh and the blood froze and broke off. It is also, so gross. I love it.
Kano is on the good guy team. Don't know what's going on with that, but okay.
Maybe we don't know. We just
know like they literally say that when Sonya is naming the fighters, he's among them for some reason.
I just love the fact that they still got Kano coming off as a trashy Australian asshole motherfucker. Just like in the first movie, too. He was like this slovenly dude. He was chowing down, and we've got Goro.
Yeah.
We've got Goro. Okay, I will shit my pants for real if Clancy Brown voices Goro again.
Yes,
we have a bigger budget now. We can make it look good.
The one thing I am disappointed of, and maybe it's already explained why, no Johnny Cage.
Wait, really? Why?
Why?
I don't see Johnny Cage in any of the cast.
What if the main character is Johnny Cage and that's just his origin story?
It'd be funny if it were. A lot of people are saying that maybe that's what's up with this.
Go
guy.
ahead and click on the cast. I'm pretty sure you're not going to find
this. Is Mortal Kombat here. No, I saw the Space Jam pace.
By the way, the characterization of Kano in the original movie as the angry, stupid Aussie was so popular that he made it all the way back to the most recent games, like Mortal Kombat 10 and 11, where he's pretty much, honestly, this actor for the movie looks almost exactly like the one in the game. It's pretty impressive.
Pretty
Fun
much.
fact, do you know what Kano did in his ending of the Mortal Kombat 11 game?
What did he do?
So he got the MacGuffin that essentially makes him into a god. And he says, and I quote, after a while, it got boring having everything all the time. So I changed reality so I am the star of my own action movie life. Victory is always out of reach, but I can always get it. So that means that there's always a chance I can lose, but there's always a chance I can win. So basically, he turned his life into an eternal action movie where he can always lose, but he can always win too.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
I'm sorry for interrupting. This is so dumb, but I love this. Okay. Okay. In an undisclosed role, and you're probably gonna laugh because why? Okay. Keith Cole is in this Mortal Kombat movie. I clicked on him, and the first image that we get of him is that he also played Sub-Zero Jr. in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. You know, like the baby brother of Sub-Zero?
The unmasked Sub-Zero with the red mark.
That's him.
That's him. Yes. And he's going to be in the new Mortal Kombat movie in an undisclosed role.
Oh, shit. What if we get the Cyborg Ninja?
Nice.
Dude,
They're going for all the memes.
If I get the Cyborg Ninjas here, I'm going to shit a brick. This is going to be great. Hopefully.
I'm going to check the rest of the cast to see if any more of these guys are going to show up who are undisclosed but are showing up in other things.
Yeah, by all means, go right
Chris Casamassa is a martial artist, and he was the original fighter for Scorpion in the original Mortal Kombat movie. So we've got one dude playing Scorpion and the original dude who played Scorpion in another undisclosed role, so that's going to be pretty. That's going to be fucking hysterical.
Imagine all the years ago, like you put your acting career behind you, you're just chilling in your life. They go, hey man, remember that time you were in Mortal Kombat? Yeah. Want to do it again. You know what? Hold on. You know, we need to get the original Shang Tsung to be here because the dude already loved that so much that he was in the games as Shang Tsung.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up for a minute. Okay.
What's up?
The other actor who's in an undisclosed role, Adani Marapis, who is best known for portraying in the video game Mortal Kombat Conquest, Quan Chi.
Well, now.
Shit!
Okay.
They're going for all the memes!
Okay, so now we have to get Shang Tsung in here. This dude is the actor himself is basically essential to the franchise because he loved it so much. He came back to reprise his role as Shang Tsung in the most recent game. And he was so popular that he got a DLC focused entirely on him.
That's
like, come on, man. This is perfect.
Okay,
let's get the guy in
here. I'm double checking this page over here real quick. See what else is going on.
Yeah, go right ahead because we do got to move on with other things.
Yeah, we'll move into other things. I just wanted to see if there was anything else that I might have been missing. No. Raiden, played by Tadanobu Asano. That's fine. Michad Brooks is Jax. Okay. Yep. And I told you about our absolute mad lad, Ludi Lin as Liu Kang, and he's just like perfect for it. He got to be a Power Ranger, and that was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that was a Black Ranger, right?
Yeah. Remember? Like I told you about that, and he gave the news about that. He's like, guys, I'm so honored. I'm so happy for this. I'm like,
that's right.
That's my boy. That's
my boy right there. You know what? I do hope this guy gets
awesome.
I do hope this guy gets more work in more video game based adaptations because he really seems to love what he's doing, and I want to see this guy progress. I want to see where he goes with this stuff.
All right, but yeah, truthfully,
also after Monster Hunter, I need fucking something good to keep me going.
Truthfully, after all the craziness that everyone's PMSing and pissing and moaning about, we can all be pissed off about Lola Bunny not having boobies anymore. We can all be pissed out about the Snyder Cut being a 4-hour-long fucking movie that's in full screen format instead of widescreen.
Jesus,
because
I honestly don't mind.
Like it's weird because
I've been waiting to watch a 2.5-hour Evangelion movie soon. I am fine with this.
Like so people are pissed and PMSing about that, but you know what? We'll have beautiful palate cleansers coming in the form of the Mortal Kombat movie, in the form of Godzilla vs. Kong. We don't have to worry too much about that. It's going to be okay. Mortal Kombat
one more
is
thing.
here.
It has been
Flawless
confirmed.
victory awaits us.
Flawless victory indeed. By the way, two little bits of information, by the way. Tomorrow, the Monday specifically, there's going to be a stream showing what appears to be 12 minutes of the new Evangelion movie, which were shown before, but they're going to add some new footage, or so they say.
Oh.
And we finally have a confirmed release date. It's going to come out in Japan on the 23rd of March, and it's going to be 2.5 hours long. And then eventually it will come to the States. So I hope your motherfuckers are ready for Hideaki Anno's Wild Ride's final chapter, literally called Goodbye All of Evangelion. Not sure what's going to happen there, but we'll see.
So March 23rd is the official release date for Japan, but we don't have a release date of when it's going to come to the US.
Sadly, nothing on the US yet, but if I know how the world works, if that movie makes enough clout, it will come here eventually. They always do.
Of course, absolutely. Now, of
Awesome.
course, we do
I
need to
do.
move on to other things right now. Actually, this next part of what we're going to discuss kind of goes back into the earlier subject of competition. However,
Oh.
not in a good way. Angel, I
Oh, no.
think you know where I'm getting at.
Yes.
Go ahead and take the lead,
Yes,
my
I do.
man.
So, as you know, roughly about half a year ago, a few months ago, in fact, the company of Apple got into a fight with Epic Store Games over their ownership and collaboration with the iconic and ever so bone-crunchingly popular game, Fortnite!
It's the guy from Fortnite!
Oh God, I hate
Now,
that
as you
game.
know, Fortnite itself actually caught quite a bit of fame recently after they introduced two new character skins to the game, Ryu and Chun-Li. And Chun-Li's got that figure, which means that a bunch of kids that never played or knew about Street Fighter have received their awakening. To be fair, though, she's the first lady of video games. If she didn't have an army of simps behind her, something's gone wrong.
That's
But I digress.
Yeah.
Long story short, the company of Epic, for those of you who are not caught up with the ideal, got into a fight with Apple. Specifically, they got into a fight with Apple because they did not want to pay the 30% cost required to, advertise their game on the platform. They wanted to put it on their own, and they started doing it without Apple's authorization and consent. This resulted in Apple slapping that shit down so hard that they removed the game from many of their devices. In fact, the phones that now play Fortnite that are from Apple make cost thousands of dollars because they are the only ones in the world that had that game pre-installed.
Holy shit.
Jesus, man.
And then it got worse. The director of Fortnite, in what I can only be described as a faux pas of fucking monumental proportions, began to compare this legal debacle of two greedy ass companies with the civil rights movement. Oh yeah,
Oh.
he
Oh.
directly compared it to that. They even went as far as to make a commercial where they imitated the opening scenes of the 1984 music video. You know, with the people throwing the thing at the screen and all that shit, just to make themselves look better.
You mean the same 1984 music video, which was then made and remade by Apple computers when they were first
Yeah.
launching, and they remade that in order to evoke like, oh, this is in 1984, this is Apple, or like if they
Or
were
some
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
so they remade that as a jab to Apple. Are you fucking
and
kidding me?
Predictably, just to make themselves look good. Now, the average public opinion is split between no, Epic is at fault here. They agree to the contract and they're basically trying to violate the TOS just to make themselves look good and get more money. And the other half is I don't give a shit. The two big, greedy, stupid companies are fucking each other over. Great. You know who else
So-
gave a shit though?
So no one's really siding with Apple on this. Apple's just like not like because you're seeing that people are taking the side of Epic Games, but not of Apple.
Honestly, I think it's more on the lines of nobody wants to take a side because they hate both. Epic Store is a goddamn mess to work through, and their company itself is a goddamn mess. And Apple is Apple. I think
Apple's
ultimately
Apple.
the general consensus boils down to the fact to, oh yeah, no, Epic is at fault here, but I hate the other side almost as much, so I'm just gonna sit back and watch them kill each other. And apparently, once again, and I swear I'm getting a little worried how many times this is happening, the government of a country has decided to step in to look into this situation. The UK government specifically has announced that the Competition and Markets Authority will respond to complaints that the App Store, which controls what apps can be downloaded on the Apple service and takes 30% of the cuttable payments, may break competition law by launching an investigation into what is determined to be anti-competitive behavior.
Oh my goodness.
What?
What anti-competitive behavior?
Anti-competitive behavior? Okay,
Did they elaborate on that?
As quoted on them, they say the CMA's investigation will consider whether Apple has a dominant position in connection with the distribution of apps on Apple services in the UK, and if so, whether Apple is imposing unfair or anti-competitive terms on developers using the App Store, ultimately resulting in users having less choice or paying higher prices for apps and add-ons.
Yeah, this
So
is
they're
all.
essentially saying, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, yeah, I was actually going to say this. You're actually referencing all this from an article that's put up by PC Gamer. On
Yep.
the clip version of this, we're going to go ahead and add this article to the description as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, obviously, never cited by name, but it's pretty clear that the connection is coming from Epic's crusade against them, who apparently brought the fight to the UK in January. This happened like 3 months ago, and they filed a complaint with the Competition Appeal Tribunal, and apparently they move other moves in the US. Now, mind you, no decision has been made yet whether or not Apple is breaking the law, but the investigation into the wider digital market has been setting to some worrying trends. As they claim to, millions of us use apps every day to check the weather, play games, or order takeaways. So complaints that Apple is using its market position to set the terms that may be unfair or may restrict competition and choice potentially causes consumers to lose out when they buy and use apps, and that warrants careful scrutiny. Now, on one side, it looks like that is possible, but we're going to leave that one on the mom's side because we don't know. The investigation hasn't said anything. What we do know for certain is that ultimately Epic began the aggressions because they purposely violated the terms of services they agreed to, and they're essentially trying to put Apple in a bad light by saying, yo, bro, what if these terms of services are abused by default and deserve to be violated? Essentially, Epic is saying, we broke the law, but what if this law is so bad that it should be looked into and deserves to be broken?
Okay, the trouble with
Don't
that
be
argument,
fooled. The point here is money, but that's the argument they are bringing forward. Let's not delude ourselves into thinking that there's some higher moral cause here, motherfucker.
we've actually got
Bullshit.
Geeks 5 Ever on the chat saying I'm late, but I'm here. How's it going,
Hello,
guys?
Geeks.
Glad you're
It is
glad
so
you're able
good
to
to
join
hear
us.
Glad you're able to join us. We're currently talking about the legal battle between Apple Incorporated and Epic Games.
Now, the one thing here is that means that the UK commission that's working on this, they're going to have to clearly define what practices constitute abuse to developers and to people who want to put their product on the App Store platform. They have to say, like, okay, what part of this is abusive? Are they saying that? Are they putting an unjust clause for exclusivity? Are they charging too much? Are they asking for something that's unreasonable for this company to be able to work or to be able to survive? Like, oh, hey, you just created the Fulano app, whatever the fuck, and you want to put it up on App Store? Absolutely. We got 75% of your profits. You can only sell it through us. You're locked into that for 19,500 years, and you will get a penny for every 5 million iPhones get sold with your app pre-installed in there. Just sign on the dotted line. Give me a minute.
Jesus, why don't you take my girlfriend and take my lunch money while you're at it?
I already took your girlfriend. I
We
married
already
her,
did that.
and your
That was
lunch
part of the
money has
original.
already been sent to my Cash App. Now, give me a minute. This is a fountain
That was
pen,
part of the
but it's
contract
out of
to come into
ink.
the game.
Just give me your finger here. Actually, no, your wrist will probably do better. I'm just typing right
Remember,
there.
do it across.
And, we'll
Not
just, and you can just go ahead and just sign that with your blood. Sign.
I'm getting
And-
lightheaded.
Just eat an orange. You'll be fine. And we're done. Nice going business
Your
with you.
next of kin will be
We're the
properly
good guys.
notified
We're
when
Apple.
the contract comes into play. Exactly. Now, to be fair, as far as we know, Apple's terms seem to be fairly simple here. You work with us, you put it on our phones, and you get profit. What we want is 30% of your cut. That's it. They're not stopping them for putting it in any other console or service. What they're saying is basically, you do not sell it on the phone over any other service that is in our service. And then they did on purpose without telling anybody. And that's what Apple goes, excuse me, what the fuck is this shit? And then Epic decided to basically tuck its tail between its legs, and they've been playing victim the entire time. But ultimately, this is literally big corporation works with big corporation number two. Number two tries to screw over number one. Number one slaps the shit out of number two and puts number two in dire fucking straits. And number two is now trying to play victim. Let's not forget, Apple purposely removed Fortnite from their devices because they can afford to do that. Meanwhile, like fucking 60% of the fan base of Fortnite plays on phones. So that took a very nasty slice out of Epic's profits. They kind of they kind of strangled the golden goose with that one. You know what I'm saying? They choked the chicken a little too hard and it turned into a shaky weight. And
my
this
real
metaphor is
question
not
here.
going anywhere. I'm sorry.
So no, you're all right. You may choke the imaginary chicken all you wish. Nobody's gonna stop you. That's part of who you are.
Baka.
But the one thing that I'm wondering here is how much of that is really causing a sizable dent in Epic Games. You got to remember, this is
Let's find
Fortnite
out.
for fuck's sake. This game is is like the online version of Chuck E. Cheese now in terms of throwing money into a bottomless pit and never seeing it ever again. It's making money like crazy. And I'm just wondering exactly how much of this is really affecting the bottom line of Epic Games.
Let's find out.
I must admit, I'm a novice when it comes to Epic Games. I don't follow that stuff, namely because the memes are cringy as hell and I don't want to have anything to do with them. I prefer my sanity to be taken from me in exchange for money. That's why I take a straight job.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so as of now, based on the most recent statistic check, there is a total of 350 million players of Fortnite. Of those, 160 million played in phones. So they kind of cut their profit margins in half doing this.
Wow.
So it's sizable. But this isn't the only game they put out, though,
Yeah.
is it?
It is, but Epic Store is not known for doing. Let me tell you the list of games that they made.
Oh boy.
Let me find it.
Alright.
Give me a second.
This is gonna be
I
funny.
want to check this out so I don't fuck this up. Epic Games creator, they've worked in CCT, Castle of the Winds, Jazz Jackrabbit, Jill of the Jungle, Kane's Labyrinth, Zargon, Dare to Dream, Traffic Department, Solar Wind, Silver Ball, Highway Hunter, Adventures of Robo, Epic Pinball, Firefight, Age of Monsters, Electroman, One Must Fall. They are known most popularly for working on the Unreal Tournament series, which hasn't had an installment since 2014. Their engine was used for Homefront and Spec Ops: The Line. They also developed and supported the Gears of War series, which ended in 2013. They haven't done anything new ever since. And recently, they published Shadow Complex, Infinity Blade, Bulletstorm, Duty Calls, Paragon, Fortnite, and Robo Recall. Of all these games, Fortnite is the only one that has consistently gotten the money and is still going. All the other ones were released, well, at the latest in 2014. So since 2014, Fortnite has been, which came out in 2017, has been pretty much the one thing that sticks with them. Everything else has already been gone, or whatever studio was publishing it more or less completely crapped out the series.
Wow.
So they were pretty much unknown, and even during their most popular phase in Gears of War, people barely even actually knew who they were until they rebranded themselves as the Epic Game Store with Fortnite. So their biggest success before this was essentially Gears of War, and that one has been gone for some time now.
Holy shit! So yeah, this is their lifeblood at this point. Real quick,
Yeah,
Geeks 5 Ever on the YouTube chat. We shall steal the cast of this show and sign them to a contract. We will give y'all anything: money, women, men, or chickens. I don't judge. LMFAO. I hope you understand. Like we come as a team and we have a very sizable contract package, so we're gonna have to work that out, buddy.
Yeah.
Listen,
We are a
before
package deal,
every
and we don't
stream,
come cheap.
I want a bowl of M&Ms, and I want all the M&Ms to be blue specifically. If I find a single green one there, my agent's gonna have some words with you.
That shouldn't be a problem. Blue M&Ms for Angel for all eternity. Okay,
Exactly.
I've got a family to uphold, so you're gonna have to give me enough income to support them for at least the next 50 years. And as for Jose, well,
Just throw money at me, honestly. Just throw money at me, and then we'll be
Literally
square.
grab a sack of cash and just go here.
Yeah, pretty much. But not everything is sour in the world of video gaming news, Angel. If I'm not mistaken, look, the producers of Game of Thrones worked on a video game recently.
are you kidding
Oh,
me?
my friend, even better than that. The producers actually don't have anything to do with this. It's none other than the creator of the Fire and Ice series himself, Mr. George R. Martin, who is supposedly writing the plot for the upcoming game, The Elden Ring. Now, this was announced quite some time ago, and sadly, we didn't get news for like a whole year because of all this mess. The only thing that was shown in the original trailer is the fact that this is made by the people who made the Dark Souls series, so we know that by default it's going to be a pretty good game. Some bizarre, vague narration about, the Elden Ring, and a mysterious fellow with flowing golden hair and porcelain skin pounding on a mystical looking anvil. There was also what appeared to be a female knight attaching a mechanical arm to her socket. And then we saw absolutely nothing else until now. A few days ago, what appears to be an actual leak of an incomplete trailer was released with some bits and pieces of information. A lot of people were calling bullshit because, let's be honest, it could be very easy to fake footage, but it looks real enough. Excuse me. And there was narration attached to it, which implies that this might look closer to the finished product. Now, when they look into it, we found out some very few mechanics. It appears to be something like a more action-based version of the usual formula, something more close to Sekiro than to Dark Souls series, though apparently attaching some sort of fantasy medieval stake to it. Now, this is what they managed to glimpse for the very few, like 10, 20 seconds of footage they managed to get. And to be fair, as I said before, this is incomplete. So we have no idea what the finished product will be based on it. So far, we know the following elements. We have a jump button. This doesn't mean much, but this is pretty much the first Souls game that actually seems to have a jump button to it.
We can jump again.
Yay!
We can jump again. But yes, a small snippet of gameplay shows the character executing what appears a standard jump, which means more exploration, which I'm down for that. It also shows that not only can you ride a horse, a first for the series, you can fight on it, which implies that the maps are big enough that you are going to need a horse to get around. And this might involve battles with a scale large enough that you might need your horse to set up an assault against the enemy. It has been confirmed that one of the enemies we're going to fight, and shocking no one, we're going to have dragons. Dragons are pretty much a staple of the series. They usually appear as gatekeepers. You know, you got to find a way around them or snipe them from afar, because trying to fight them head on, you usually die. Later down in the games, you fight them head on and you're more properly equipped, and it looks really cool. So we got dragons, because of course. There's a bit of a gameplay style similar to Dark Souls. We got backstabbing, sword fighting skeletons, homing spells that resemble the soul mass spell used in the original series, giant doors opening to boss chambers, rolling. Basically, the release looks a lot like an iteration of, let's take the Dark Souls formula, tweak it up a little bit, add some more gameplay elements, and put it there. This might be the open world Souls experience people wanted. It might be, mind you. The entire Dark Souls series has always been around circles.
Yeah.
The levels are big and sprawling, but somehow you always find a way to get back to the start by shortcuts that you unlock. And the very few like little bits that we found seem to describe what appears to be a rickety, broken environment. Hard to traverse areas, decay of planks and wood, something similar to those of you who play Dark Souls like Blighttown or the Valley of Defilement. As usual, there's a case of decay or things breaking down. Now, mind you, we don't know anything else beyond that. This is mostly what people have seen and what I have caught from watching the videos. But so far, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what changes they're going to make to the series. And now that I got my hands on Neo 2, I can finally start cracking my head on a Souls-like game and see how that works out for me. It's not going to be the same thing.
That sounds like it's going to be crazy. Although I will have to say, if George R.R. Martin is working on the story for this, I got to tell you, this motherfucker is doing everything he possibly can to not have to finish writing his fucking book.
Right?
Nope. I'm not moving. I'm genuinely afraid that he's getting old, man. I'm afraid that he might die before we actually get to the final book of the story. Now, I will never shit on the man's writing talents.
Of course.
The fact that by copying his material, they made 5 seasons of what was, at the time, the most talked of TV show in fucking history, before they fucked it all up, should tell you that the man is good at his job. And the fact that those books are still held to such a high standard should tell you he's no one to mess with when it comes to literary work. I don't know how this is going to translate to video game, because video game is supposed to have a specific structure that the story has to work with.
An interactive element to it.
Exactly. And let's be honest, we have seen the horrors of game development. We see what happens when you write a story and suddenly, we got to cut that level out.
Kingdom Hearts.
But that level is important to the story. No, we got to cut it out. Not enough budget.
All the way out. Yep.
But what about the boss fight? Yeah, we got to patch it out because there's too many bugs. We got to fix this for later. Point in case is,
what a mess.
I'm a little worried because this is the first time he's ever done this kind of work. But on the other hand, I like to think his experience as a writer will eventually come through. We don't know much. And something tells me that whoever leaked this information is getting fired out of a cannon into the sun. But
Oh yeah,
if nothing else, this has worked to do the one thing that people fear that it will do, and it has sprinkled droplets of interest onto the starving and thirsting mass. It's like fucking Immortan Joe holding the lever to the
I was
pool.
going to make that comparison. You are ahead of me by a second. Yes, that's
People just
exactly what it
with
is.
buckets labeled Elden Ring just screaming, and he just goes, "Do not rely too much on the Elden Ring, lest you grow something
Resentful
shiny."
of its absence.
Resentful
Oh my
of its absence.
god.
See, in this industry where when the information moves fast and the memes move faster, lack of information can really hurt your game, because if you take too long to tell your fan base what the hell's going on, people are going to lose interest. So yes, I understand it might not be a good thing, but these little droplets of interest might keep people's attention until we get a more solid piece of information.
Well, that's good. That's good. Before we wrap up,
Yeah, that is wild. I can't wait to hear more about this game because this sounds intriguing as shit.
yeah.
Yes.
Now, real quick, on the YouTube chat, Geeks5Ever, following up with the joke about paying us, was saying $600 should be enough, right? I mean, our leaders determined that was a good amount. LOL. After that, he went ahead and said, just wanted to share, we are extending an invite to any to be part of our XL podcast. We are doing a show to reach out to those with mental health issues who need our support now more than ever.
Oh, wow.
Thanks,
An
man.
open invitation.
That's awfully nice of you. You shrewd motherfucker, plugging yourself into our show. That's how I thought.
Yeah. Don't
Fucking
advertise your
harness
channel
the
on
power
our
of
channel.
No, this is great. Dude, no, this is great. This is the equivalent of the millionaire holding the invalid child for the photo shoot. This is great.
Yeah, except we're the invalid child.
We're the invalid child, Angel.
I know, that's the point. We're all mentally deficient here. But
Yeah,
point
true.
in case, overall, few little sprinkles of information, like a pinch of paprika on your soup. Add a little spice to that. Not that we're not getting some good games. We have received some fantastic releases later, but when people are waiting for the big title, sometimes we just need something, anything. And it has been a long time since the original announcement for the Elden Ring. And we need something to fucking work with here. So, to whomever was brave or stupid enough to leak that, thank you. I hope they never find out who you are, because I want you to keep your job. You did us a huge favor, and you put yourself at risk. So, whoever you are, never reveal that you did this.
Do not
Ever.
lose your anonymity. That is your best form of protection.
Until, of course, unless you're in a position where you don't have to work for them anymore, and then
And then
after
just
you leave,
fucking
you
go,
can
"Yeah."
blast it out to everyone like, oh, by the way, it was me, Austin. It
was
was
me
me
all
along.
He just leaves out
Geeks5 Ever
first prize.
responding, saying, hey, man, I'm Mexican. If I follow the rules, I'd still be in Mexico. If I follow the rules, I'd still be in New
You know
York.
what?
If Angel followed
Point.
the rules, he would still be in Cuba, and he does not want to go back to Cuba.
No, he does not.
Oh, my Elden Ring. So, regardless, we got some good news in gaming that hopefully will quench the thirst of those who are looking for something to enjoy in 2021. As the quarantine reaches its third month and Texas decides that they're going to take off the masks, we put our hands in prayer and hope that this means that eventually things will go well enough that we can all take off our masks. If not,
Except, of course, for the fact that
at least we can laugh at them.
Except, of course, for the fact that Texas is doing that within the next few days here, and
Yeah,
they're
I know.
doing this in spite of the fact that they're going into spring break season,
Yep.
where they're supposed to get all this tourism, and they're basically doing this because
right.
they're idiots.
If
Not the
you can
people
dodge
who
the
are
virus, you
living
can
in
dodge the
Texas.
ball.
Not the people who are living in Texas. We're talking about the fucking governor. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
Hey, man, best case scenario, nothing too bad happens, and we can take this as an example. Worst case scenario, at least we'll have something to laugh about.
You smarmy bastard.
Wow.
I think we ought to wrap up.
I think that pretty much does it for us as far as that's concerned. All right, folks, this has been an awesome, exciting edition. And if you couldn't make time to watch us live, do not despair, for we will be releasing clips, part after part after part of our episode each and every single day over in the coming week, so that you guys can watch us and get yourselves engaged in what we talk about,
Sorry
because we
about
talk
that.
about some serious good shit, my friends. And of course, remember, everything that we talk about is awesome. And I guess the moral of this whole thing is that change isn't something to be afraid of. Sometimes you have to embrace change.
And competition,
And
which I win all
competition.
the time.
Competition isn't always a bad thing. Competition can be a good thing sometimes.
Remember, my friends, do not question the inevitability of change. Question the reason for the change. That's the one you got to dig into all the time.
Okay, that I will agree with. Yes, the reason behind change has to, match with the
Has to make sense.
has to make sense.
Give me a second over here.
Exactly.
Don't say anything real quick.
Yeah, you're fine.
Let me just make sure I'm doing something right over here.
Yep, don't worry.
Okay. Yeah. No, they can hear us.
Hey,
Yeah,
my
it's
name
fine.
is Dog.
Your name is Dog. What?
Doug. I was
Dog.
thinking
no.
to the tune of Doug.
You know what? Yeah, we're just goofing here at this point.
Yeah,
We're
we're
done.
just goofing,
You know, I just
guys.
realized Dog might suffer from a severe case of schizophrenia. The dude literally has fucking daydreams in the middle of the day. Like, bro, you need psychological help.
Yeah,
He managed to get through high school and college just fine.
No, just
Oh, please. I did that too. That's not a big fucking deal. You know what I remember from fucking college? You know what I remember from college? I remember ranch sauce with bacon bits.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and wrap you up. I don't care, man. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell here on YouTube. Hit the follow button on our Twitch stream. And do not forget, folks, we are here every single Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are here to discuss the week's happenings in the world of geek culture, nerd culture, pro wrestling, comic books, video games, anime, everything that you know and love that's keeping you from losing your minds. And we're, of course, here to continue speaking out for those in the con community, those in the cosplay community. Whenever we're able to get back to that stuff, we'll continue where we left off, making your voice our mission. Until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlock online, Twitch.tv/TheRavensFlock online. And as I said, hit the notification bell and subscribe to us here on our main channel, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, home of the Black Files, the Wednesday Night War, Los Amigos Play, and The Ravens Flock.
All right, folks, this has been an exciting March 6th edition of our flagship show that's been going on for 9 years straight now. Ladies and gentlemen, well, I should probably throw that out the window. All nerds watching, we are the Ravens Flock, and we are out.
We'll see you next week, folks.
Gosh.